Alright, Owls, here is our second penguin video. Today we're going to learn about where the penguins live and what the penguins like to eat, and a brief little section about penguins' predators, so animals that would want to try to feed on penguins or attack a penguin. Most penguins live on islands where they're safe from predators. So that's one of the main reasons that they would live on an island in large groups. This is because they cannot fly away from danger. They have to live in places where mostly just other penguins live. So they wouldn't do very well in an area where it couldn't just be mostly penguins. They feel safest when they're in that sort of pack. And so islands are really helpful for that. Penguins only live on the southern half of the world. So that means if you looked at a world map, the entire Earth, they're only on the bottom half of it, the bottom section. That's the only place that you would find penguins naturally. You could see them in an aquarium. If anyone's been to the aquarium in Boston, they have some penguins there. But the places that penguins are born and normally from are on the southern bottom half of the world. Even though there are some very cold climates on the northern half, like where we live, it gets very, very cold outside. The North Pole, it would be very, very cold up there. They still only live on that bottom half. A lot of people think about penguins only living in Antarctica or in some very, very cold areas like that, but only 2 of the 18 different kinds of penguins live in Antarctica. So there's 18 different species that are alive today, and only 2 of that type even live there. So some of the other areas where you could find penguins are in Argentina, Australia, the Galapagos Islands, the Falkland Islands, Chile, the Gough Island, New Zealand, South Africa, and in the South Sandwich Islands. So those are the places where you could visit and see penguins living in their natural habitat today. South American penguins that are found in like Argentina and Chile are called Magellanic penguins. And they're very similar to African penguins that are found in the southern half of Africa. Because we got to remember the penguins are only on the bottom half of the Earth. Penguins that live in those areas actually migrate in the winter months, these South American penguins, and they'll move to Brazil for a little bit. These penguins don't live in snowy climates, so it's very strange to think about this, but these penguins would actually burrow under bushes, and they'd make like little underground homes for themselves. So they're a very different type of penguin than what we usually picture when we picture penguins out in the snow, like sliding around on their bellies and stuff like that. It's important for penguins in the different areas to be able to protect themselves. So again, they live in very large groups. There are other ways penguins can protect themselves, which is by swimming very, very well. So that's why it helps when they're around some water. They love to swim. And penguins don't actually have many predators. Humans do not hunt penguins anymore. It's not allowed. There was a time when humans would hunt penguins to try to get oil from them and would take their eggs and things like that. But that is not allowed anymore. You cannot hunt a penguin. The most common animal predators to a penguin are sharks, orca whales, and leopard seals. So the next section that we're going to look into about a penguin's life is their diets and what they like to eat, what's available for them to eat. Penguins' diets are a little different based on their location, but fish are the most common food that penguins like to eat. Because they only eat meat, penguins are considered carnivores. So the underwater like seafood that they're eating is usually smaller seafood such as like crab, shrimp, anchovies, sardines, and krill, which is like a really small shrimp. There are some bigger underwater animals that a penguin would eat, like squid or cod. But usually it's the smaller type of underwater food that they're eating. Different sized penguins also eat larger or smaller meals based on like how big they are. So The large emperor penguin can sometimes eat up to like 13 pounds of food a day, which is really, that's so much food for a penguin. But that would also be at a time when maybe they're trying to save up some of their energy. They might be molting, where they're getting rid of some of their feathers and growing new ones. But it really changes based on what type of penguin it is for how much they're going to be eating. Something that was very interesting to me is that unlike humans, penguins are able to drink salt water. So the salty ocean water that is surrounding them. They have a special gland that's inside their head. So it's a special part inside their body that allows them to drink salt water without getting sick. If you or I or anyone that we know was in the ocean drinking the salt water, it would make their stomach very sick. You would get a headache. It would be very bad for your body. But the penguins have this special gland that's actually located in their head behind their eyes, that when they drink in the water, it filters out the salt somehow, and it makes it so that they are okay to drink that water. They will also drink melted ice water or like a puddle of like fresh water if it was available, but they don't have to only find fresh water. All right, my friends, that is the end of our 2 penguin videos. I am going to attach in the email that I send your parents some coloring sheets with some different types of penguin species that you could color in if you would like. And if you have any questions, feel free to send them in to us, and we can try to answer them for you either in the next video, or we could email a response back. I hope everyone's staying safe, keeping busy, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.